Not fast as that. Basically, it's a center of mass movement. So based on the movement that you gain to the state and it looks at it. It's obviously not that fast as that. This is the reverse thing which are working on. So if we can easily move forward, it can go right. Like just how a spider moves, you can equally direct it.
Wo sollen wir die Treppe jetzt hoch, ne?
We are the Aerodynamics Club. I'm Adarsh and this is Rahul. We're basically a bunch of aviation enthusiasts who take part in aero-related activities like competitions and research. Here we've just presented some of our hobbies.
So that's the kennzeichnet?
Usually we make unmanned aerial vehicles and so we compete in competitions internationally and
In dem blauen Kleid bestimmt,
our
oder?
plane teams compete internationally. We are currently ranked 26 and our drone team is currently ranked 3rd in India. So in terms of competitions, we always take part in competitions that solve real-world problems. Our last year mission statement was about efficient urban air mobility. The year before that it was about electronic warfare, and the year before that about vaccine driving. And in terms of the general club activities, we take up on research projects, which again have a lot of scope in industry. So we have projects like ornithopter, which help in surveillance. We develop autonomous drones, which are capable of mapping of terrain. We have helped the Goa government with a project that involved mapping of the mangroves here. And we have projects like VTOL, which are targeted at extremely efficient flight within a city. So we always take upon projects that have a lot of scope in solving real-world problems.
What was your aim with this drone?
So this was one of the first drones which was built within the club.
To be very fast.
Yeah, this is called Zero. So the point of this was to develop stable flight. So drones are highly maneuverable, but this one had a microcontroller implemented so that it was self-select. So even if you took your hand off the remote, it would fly away or it would play rather it would correct itself. So that's the point. So we have other drones which are absolutely extremely fast. We have manual drones and range one. Now we have achieved autonomy in drone flying. We are one of the first in India to do it with the new ROS 2 which came up. And in terms of planes, we are now finally working on autonomy in planes. And soon we have planes which can fly by themselves with their cabins. Yes.
We're waiting. Chancellor's going.
It is a part of an international organization, SETS, it stands for Students for Exploration and Development of Space. So it was originated in MIT and then it became a global center and we are now part of it. So basically we're a research intensive lab. We
going before, and then we can go.
I'm so sorry. Check.
to a more sustainable, equitable world. With India and Germany celebrating 50 years of scientific collaboration, it's time we further strengthen and deepen these engagements. Joint and dual degree programs at undergraduate,
We have
master's
only
and
5
PhD
minutes
level
to
will
record
be a
once
logical step
Chancellor
forward.
Scholz interacts with the students. After 5 minutes, the cameras go off.
Sure.
Yeah, then you can go, or you can stand.
Audios.
We are deeply honored, sir, to welcome you today, Chancellor Scholz. Your visit highlights the long-standing and valuable ties between India and Germany, particularly in education, research, and innovation. At BITS Pilani, we are proud to embody the spirit of modern India, having produced over 6,400 startup founders and co-founders and 15 unicorn founders. Your presence today is a powerful source of inspiration for the next generation of innovators and leaders, encouraging them to reach new heights in shaping the future. Thank you, Chancellor Scholz.
So thank you for having me and inviting me and giving me the chance to discuss with you. I'm really glad to hear your questions later and to discuss with you all the topics that are important for you. I think it's already said, India and Germany are growing together with innovation, mobility and sustainability. This is the motto of this year's intergovernmental consultations that took place yesterday in Delhi. And with Prime Minister Modi, we focused on topics that are important for both India and Germany. Innovation, technology, renewable energy, sustainability, as well as migration and mobility. So a lot of questions to be discussed. And we launched a lot of partnerships on technical developments we will do for the future. I think there is one aspect that should be mentioned in the beginning. A lot of Indians are now living in Germany. 50,000 of them are students. Compared to 2022, that's an increase of 50%, so there is more to come. And I was really impressed to learn that India now represents the largest group of foreign students at German universities. So, a good message, and so I'm very happy to be here with you today. So, but instead of giving a long speech, I'm really happy to hear your questions, your remarks, and to discuss with you. Someone will start. Who will be the first? Please.
Hello. Good afternoon, sir. I'm Sanman. I'm a third-year student here. I'm the president of the student council over here. And it is always an honor to welcome you to India. My question is that since this is your third visit to India since you have become the Chancellor in 2021, what benefits will we expect in the Indian educational sector by the Indo-German relations which have been built and strengthened by this visit also?
So I hope it's now better to understand. So once again, we have good relations between Germany and India. India is growing, and so it is very good if the technical exchange, the investments coming from Germany are also promoting the growth of India in the future. And there are a lot of different fields where we can work together, if it is on questions of security, if it is about renewable energies, if it is IT and software development, where many Indians are working in Germany, but also in companies of Germany in this country here. There is something that is happening, and we should continue to do this. India is now the biggest democracy of the world. It is the country with most people living in one country today, and if we make it happen, that the growth will continue so that everyone in India has a good income and a good future, this will be good, not just for India, but also for the world. So, who else? Please.
Hello. So my major question would be that, like, as you are obviously a statesman, so how do you deal with dissent which reaches you? Like, any dissent in the country, any dissent by the people, how is it dealt with as a person in power?
So I'm long in politics. I became active when I was very young, but I started working as a lawyer after having had my professional education on this question. I worked as a lawyer for 13 years before I was elected to be member of the National Parliament, and had different tasks. I followed them, being Minister of Labour, being the Mayor of the city of Hamburg, being the Finance Minister, now the Chancellor. And I think it is something which is an honor to work for others, to do something for making the life in your country better, do what you can for improving peace and security, which is important for all of us. And so I think it is something where you have to do a lot. It's a 7 days week where you have to work every day more or less, but it is something which is very important, and I'm really pleased that the people in Germany gave me the chance to do this for them for a certain time. Please.
Good afternoon, sir. Welcome to BITS again. My name is Kanishk. I am a 4th year student. So my question is, the world today faces escalating tensions, conflicts and uncertainties, particularly in the Indo-Pacific region, where issues of rule of law and freedom of navigation is pressing. As Indians, region security is of paramount concern, and I am keenly interested in the role of Indian-German relations in this. Indians, however, are really skeptical of Europe's position on global matters, very evident standards in international diplomacy. So, Chancellor, I ask, is India merely another economic partner or market of trade and commerce for Germany, or does this visit signify a meaningful reset shift towards deeper strategic ties aimed at securing peace, harmony and stability in Indo-Pacific region?
First, it is important that we understand that the future that can work for all of us in the world is that we stick to international rules, and especially when it comes to seafaring, the international rule of law of the sea, which is very important. And as I already told you, I had been the mayor of the city of Hamburg in Germany, which is a big port city, but also a city where the International Court on the Law of the Sea is placed. So I'm very much linked to the question that these rules coming from this universal agreements are followed by everyone. And it should be not the rule of the most powerful, it should be the rule that we developed together, which is the case with the United Nations Code of the Law of the Sea. So this is something where we are working together, and when I discussed with Premier Modi on these questions, we agreed that this is an important aspect. One of the reasons why now 2 ships of the German Navy are today here in this city, and we will have a chance to look at them and to discuss with them about what they experienced when they acted together with the Indian Navy and tried to secure the development in the region. What is my perspective of the world to come? And I think more or less this is the question you asked. It will be in 2050 a world of 10 billion people. And there will be a lot of very powerful new countries, not new countries, but newly powerful countries coming up. Like, for instance, many countries of Asia, like Indonesia or India, countries from Africa, like South Africa or Nigeria, that will have 500 million inhabitants in the second half of this century. This will be also countries from the south of America, and many, many others as those that are mentioned today when it's going to international politics. And this multipolarity is a chance for all of us. And I think this is now the time where we try to develop the relations in a way that they are equal-footed, that everyone is working together, and that there is no one telling the others what to do. But this also means that we are following very hard the international regulations and agreements, for instance, the UN Charter. And coming back to the crises and conflicts we are seeing, my view is that the biggest threat that is today happening to international security and peace is the war of aggression Russia started against Ukraine. And this is because of one single aspect of this attack. It is about changing borders. And the agreement we had in the United Nations and in many other regional agreements on peace and security, for instance, also for Europe, is that never borders should be changed by war and by force again. And this is the basis for peace. If you are a small country that side to side to a strong neighbor that has just the power to do something and to harm you, you have to live sure and safe and knowing never this will happen. And this is also due, if we look at the history of borders. One of the ambassadors of Kenya to the United Nations made a speech over there in the Security Council saying that just look how the borders in Africa were drawn by drunken officers of colonial powers. And if we all would try to find the right border and are going to war, we will have 100 years of war in Africa. This should not happen. The borders as they are today should be not threatened, endangered, and I think this is one of the main aspects for global peace and good security for all of us. So, please.
Guten Tag. Myself Anshu Mittal, a sophomore student here. Excellency, Germany has been on forefront for renewable energy, yet it faced significant energy challenges during the Russia-Ukraine conflict. So, how do you see for world in near future for adopting to green development alongside meeting its own energy requirements? Thank you.
It is obvious that when the world becomes a better place to live for more people, this will have an impact on environment. So if everyone lives in the world, and I spoke about 10 billion people in 2050, in a way that is custom in Germany or had been custom in Germany 10, 20, 30 years ago, this would be not a good place if we do it in the way we do it today, because then we would use that much of fossil resources, and the climate change dramatically, and many of the things we are looking for in the world also we put a lot of prices. So it is necessary that we make growth possible, and in this way also deploying renewable energies, which gives us a chance to produce the necessary energy without harming the environment, more or less. So this is why Germany decided that we will produce 80% of our electricity capacity in 2030 by renewables. And we are very much running into this direction. It's at this time approximately 60%. So it's highly likely that we will reach this goal, though this means it happens while increasing the need for electricity. Because when we look at industrial processes or if we look at mobility, we understand that many of the things we are doing today with fossil resources will be done with electricity. Driving cars, running processes and industries. And so we will not just have 80% of what we have today, but an increased capacity for electricity production in Germany. So you are technicians, so possibly you are looking for numbers. It's now 600 terawatt of electricity we are producing. It will go up to 800 terawatt, and I'm very much convinced that in the 30s it will be double the figure we will see in the end of this decade. So this is what is the change. And we are exchanging our experience and technologies with India, and I see that India is now growing fast when it comes to renewables. If you look at all the energy production, just a small part, but it is growing, and this is, I think, a good message, and we will be as helpful as we can to grow together. Please. It comes. So it's a question I was not asked so far, so it's very good that it happens to me. I really don't know, because I had a chance to do law studies in that reform project, which happened then, which made it feasible for Germany, it was very fast, to end with all the studies and also the pragmatic doings which are linked to the education in 6 years. Some use 8 or 10 years in Germany for doing all the studies that are related to law before they can act as a lawyer or work as a judge or something like this. And this was very good for me because I did a lot of things aside of my studies, which was not the recommendation of the professors, to be honest, and they will not do here. But so I fell in love with my wife. It was very good and took some time. And I also did a lot in the youth organization of my party, but in the end I made it with the studies, and that was important, so I had the chance to work in the profession I decided to take. Yeah, thank you. not by law. I think they have some parents and they could do something with educating their children, and I think it is also something that depends on the experiences that we have. If we are having good friends, if we have good schools, if we are having good universities or whatever, and this will be also part of our life, and it is then not just that we are all the time hanging to social media. So I think the main question is if there is a proper life aside of social media. And this is very, very